What the hell is going on with this Ghislaine Maxwell case, guys? What the hell? Like, literally, when it all started, it seemed like, okay, this is going to be a big deal. You know, a few people even seem to be squirming a little bit. But as the industry and the world goes, once again, it seems like we're going to get absolutely no justice from the so-called justice system for the poor victims of Jeffrey Epstein and all of his other sicko weirdo friends and Ghislaine Maxwell and everybody like that. So guys, I'm just like I've been wanting to talk about this more, and I've almost been waiting for more to happen to kind of have more of like a, okay guys, so this is what's going on, this is finally being done, this is finally being done, etc., right? But nothing's really happening. Like, of course, we've had like I think it was like 4 witnesses. I think the prosecution is rested now, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it's hard for me to comment on this because I don't really trust the mainstream news with a lot of this, so I don't like going along with what the mainstream news says. And so, by the way, if any of you have any great sources, feel free to send them my way. Also, I am in the UK, so what they're showing us here, it is different to in other countries, especially the US, as I've noticed, thanks to some of you, my subscribers. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content. But yeah, there's basically just nothing going on. You've had like the one pilot, I think it was a pilot who said, oh, he never saw anybody really going to the Epstein Island, or you know, all these things, like very, very low level people, probably paid a very pretty penny to just say they didn't see anything. And I can just imagine it, guys. Can't you just imagine, right? Like Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer coming into, like, let's say Jeffrey Epstein's pilot and just being like, look, John, you look like a nice guy, right? John, you got a family? You got a wife? Oh, you got 3 kids. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, your wife's having another one. Well, how would you like to know that your children are set for life, they have their college paid off, they can have a scholarship to whichever Ivy League university, college, sorry, as you call it in America, college, whichever college you want, you can have your house paid off. Have you bought your house yet? We'll buy it for you. All we need you to do is, we're not asking you to lie in court. We're not asking you to do anything crazy. All we're asking you to just say is that you don't remember and you didn't see anything. Okay? Don't you feel like that's just what they probably said, right? I feel like that's probably what they would have said, because they would have just been like, and the problem is, people, the problem is, yeah, that, and I've said this before, what the enemy does, and yes, I'm talking about demonic things, is evil people prey on the weaknesses of people, right? The vulnerability of people. That's why a lot of people, even in Hollywood, as I like to call it, and everything like that, they end up in these predicaments. Why? Because they were approached when they were vulnerable. Maybe it was that they really wanted to be famous and they only had $100 to their name. They moved to California for their big dream and somebody offers them the deal of a lifetime. Now, that's the perfect time to offer that to somebody. Why? Because they're going to be susceptible to saying yes, because why? They're desperate. That's what evil people do. They wait for you to be in a place of desperation, because in a place of desperation, you're going to do something that's the opposite of what you'd normally do. That's why I feel like we're in this current situation in the world, because a lot of people are being put in a situation where they are desperate, maybe to keep their job, maybe to be able to provide for their family, etc., and therefore that desperation is leading them to make a decision that they would normally make now. Do you see where I'm coming from? And I really feel that that's where how a lot of these people are able to get people to do this stuff. I think that's how so many people were even are easily paid off. Because think about it. If you're in a situation, let's say right now you're working and you're making, let's say 25k, let's say you're making 20k a year. Let's say you're making 20k a year, right? And you get very badly treated by somebody, right? Let's say you get very, very badly treated by somebody, and you want to take them to court, you want to get justice, right? And in that moment they say, well, if you don't take this to court, we're going to give you £500,000 or dollars or whatever is your currency from wherever you're from. Shout out to my other subscribers. I know not all my subscribers or even viewers are just in the UK or the US. Shout out to Canada, shout out to Chile, shout out to Uruguay. I've seen you guys popping into my videos, so hello. And please let me know of your currencies that you use down below. I'd love to know. But imagine, so when people do stuff like that, it just goes with the desperation of people, doesn't it? Because for a lot of us now, it will be hard to turn away that kind of money if you're being offered that. And I'm not, and despite your morals, and I think that's what these people use. And this is something else that I've said in one of my previous videos talking about Travis Scott. I think people very much underestimate how much money these people have. Like, these people have money. Because the best thing they can do, right, guys, is if you don't know how much money they have, let me tell you why I think they don't let you know how much money they have. Because if you knew how much money they had, you would know how easy it was for them to just do something knowing that they're going to pay off that thing after the fact. And I talked about this in my Travis Scott video as well, about how, you know, they probably thought, you know what, let's do what we need to do because we need these sacrifices, because to continue the demonic stuff that we're doing, and we're just going to pay the money because we can afford to. And if you start to actually put the two and two together, right, even if you just think about somebody like our good old friend Lucifer Taylor, she's a business manager, right? So managers usually make at least 15% of from what their people they're managing are making. Now, if you go and look at the net worth, or go and look at the yearly salary, or how much some of your favorite celebrities making just even maybe one show or maybe one tour, and she's pocketing 15% of that. Think of all of, and I'm not using the lower level of management fees, right? Think about how much money they're making from all the people she's managing, and that's just one person. I'm just using her as an example. So these people have a lot of money, and I think one of the things that they do is, because they know the average person isn't used to having money, it's the perfect scenario to just pay people off. And honestly, I think there's just a lot of people being paid off, probably in ways we don't know. Maybe they're being given like a Picasso from 20 years ago that's worth 20 million. Maybe it's just that it's being put in a fund in the Canary Islands and all these funny places, the Monacos of the world, you know, the Dubais. Maybe there's all these kind of places, things that they're doing. Maybe they're just doing it flat out, you know, maybe they're just flat out doing it. Maybe they're just giving people houses. Because the thing is, guys, a lot of these people are smart and they know exactly what they're doing. And so the way I'm looking at this whole Ghislaine Maxwell case is, it just seems like they've managed to cover up for anyone. Because the other thing is, and I said this in my other videos, if you're going to expose one person, if that person gets exposed, they're going to want to expose everybody else. So it doesn't suit them for anybody's name to come out, because as soon as that person, that's why Epstein is committed suicide, which I did a video talking about how he's definitely not dead, in my opinion, and also some of yours, because you switched on. But you know, if one of them gets caught, they're all going to get caught. So they're not really going to let even one of them get caught. And the few people who are probably, you know, subpoenaed to court or whatever are the ones who they're probably just going to pay off and be like, look, 20 million will change your life. If you just keep quiet, 20 million will change your life. 20 million? Awesome. You know, and then nothing's going to happen. And that's why I'm like, what is going on with this Ghislaine Maxwell case? Nothing has happened. There've been no high profile names. Jeffrey Epstein quite literally was the man who was between the rich and the charity, helping the rich people put their money into charities, probably for money laundering and a whole bunch of other dodgy things, and also probably so they could do the sick and twisted things they all wanted to do to keep their riches, part of probably what he was doing, right? And his, you know, I don't even want to say his pyramid scheme, his very disgusting, predatory, pedophilic pyramid scheme, right? Do you not think there were so many people involved, so many people's names, so many people and pictures have been seen, and yet in court nothing's being done? And I guess all I want to say in this video for now, as I still look into even more research onto this, is that this is why I keep saying, guys, this justice system we believe in is not just. It is not just. It is not. It is run by money. And I did a video talking about how the justice system is run by money. You can go and watch that. It's actually a fairly old video now, to be fair, but it's not just at all. The people are showing just how corrupt they are, guys, because think about it. And somebody else pointed out, actually, in something that I was watching earlier, they were like, how come Virginia Roberts, the one who kind of blew the whole lid off this case with Jeffrey Epstein in the first place, how come she wasn't brought to court? How come they didn't call upon her? Do you see what I mean? How come they didn't ask her, oh, can you tell us how many people you saw Ghislaine Maxwell with? Can you tell us? Why do you think they didn't bring her? Do you see what I mean? Why wasn't... So my point is, guys, everything that I've been saying on this channel about how evil some of these people are is so real. And unfortunately, so many people are not getting the justice that they deserve in this justice system. These people are getting away with it. And at this point, they don't even care. Like, this case is such a shambles, this Ghislaine Maxwell thing. I cannot believe we've just sat here and we've just like... Do you know what I mean? Like, they've literally done this in front of our face. We literally know that there's at least more names brought to the table that we've heard of that should have at least been questioned in court and stuff. and now we're just acting like there's been nothing. Like, this case has been like almost, and I don't want to say this to go against the victims, but I'm saying this in terms of how deceptive they're being. It's almost been one of the most boring cases. And as somebody else pointed out, how many court cases do we see fully televised? We're seeing all the courtroom, we're seeing from the beginning to the end. And now with Ghislaine Maxwell, all of this stuff that they're trying to hide, and they're trying to, and in the UK over here, guys, and I hate to say this because it's a very, very sad story. There was a story about a young boy who was unfortunately, very unfortunately, tortured by his father and stepmom after his real mum went to prison for killing her partner, right? Crazy story. And they've been really talking about this over here in the UK, and it's really been annoying me. And I'll tell you why it's been annoying me. It's been annoying me because the people that are involved in this Ghislaine Maxwell case have also been abusing children, and a lot of the people connected. And yet, while we're hiding that, we're making a massive fuss about this other case, right? Why? Because it's taking attention off of the elites, because it's a normal person who isn't connected to any of these people, who is just a beautiful scapegoat, right, for them, you know. And then they have the audacity to pretend like they actually care about this stuff. It drives me crazy, guys. So I'm going to just leave that there with the Ghislaine Maxwell thing. You guys, please, if you are getting any good sources, because I do really want to know more. What I've been able to find is just showing that there's not, and I think, unfortunately, it seems like my research is probably about as good as it is at the moment. Obviously, as I've said, we are still expecting Pervy Prince Andy to go to court in January, although will he show up? Stay tuned. There's another funny story about that. A woman in the UK saw him the other day and I think started trying to like bang on his window like he was in the car, and that's just another whole story. But anywho, before I make this video too long, which, by the way, guys, I'm so proud of myself that my videos aren't that long, because I can talk forever. When I first started doing YouTube, my videos were like 40 minutes, so I've had to learn how to just try and box things down. But you guys let me know if you like the shorter, longer. What are you vibing with? What do you like? Because according to my stats, it seems like people prefer to watch shorter length videos, but could be wrong. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well if you want to hear more of my content and to support me, because I talk about controversial stuff, so I guarantee the algorithm is not trying to support what I'm doing here. Also, like the video, of course. Other than that, God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.